The wind howled, rain lashed the shore, palm trees bent low, their fronds whipping like angry spirits. The tribe huddled in their woven huts, fear gripping their hearts. Never had they seen a storm so fierce. The elders spoke of angry ancestors, their voices tight with worry. For 3 days and nights, the storm raged. The sea, usually so calm and giving, became a roaring beast. Waves crashed upon the beach, swallowing the sand and spitting it back. When the storm finally began to fade, a strange silence fell upon the village. The air was thick with the smell of salt and something else, something unknown. Tambu, a young fisherman, stood at the edge of the ravaged shore. The storm had taken much. Gone were the familiar fishing boats smashed against the reef. Gone too was the abundance of fish that usually teemed in the shallows. Despair threatened to engulf him. Then he heard it, a whisper carried on the wind. It spoke of a land to the south, a land untouched by the storm, a land of plenty. Hope flickered in Tambu's heart. He knew what he had to do. The journey south was long and perilous. The sea, still restless from the storm's fury, tossed Tambu's small canoe like a leaf. He paddled with the strength of 10 men, fueled by the whisper's promise. Days turned into nights. Hunger gnawed at his belly. Still, he pushed on. The sun beat down, relentless and unforgiving. Tambu's skin blistered and burned. His throat was parched, his lips cracked and dry. He collected rainwater in his cupped hands, a meager offering to quench his thirst. Just as his strength began to fail, he saw it. On the horizon, a green smudge emerged from the shimmering heat haze. Land. Tambu paddled with renewed vigor, his heart pounding in his chest. As he drew closer, the whisper grew stronger, urging him onward. He felt a surge of relief. His journey, fraught with danger, was worth it. He would return to his people a hero. The island was a paradise. Lush forests stretched down to meet the turquoise waters. Coconut palms, heavy with fruit, lined the white, sandy beaches. The air vibrated with the sound of unseen creatures. And the fish. They filled the lagoons and reefs in numbers Tambu had never witnessed. He feasted on shellfish, their sweet flesh, a welcome change from the meager rations he had endured. He drank deep from freshwater streams, the cool water soothing his parched throat. This land was everything the whisper had promised, and more. For days, Tambu explored his surroundings. He found wild taro and yams, their roots thick and plentiful. He discovered mango trees laden with ripe fruit, their sweet fragrance intoxicating. This land was a gift, a bountiful haven, but Tambu never forgot his people. He knew they were struggling. He had to return to share the whisper's promise with them. Tambu's return sparked a firestorm of excitement. His tales of the new land, of its abundance and beauty, spread through the village like wildfire. Hope, once extinguished, rekindled in the eyes of his people. They crowded around him, eager to hear every detail of his perilous journey. The elders, their faces etched with worry, listened intently. They saw in Tambu's eyes the truth of his words. They knew that their survival depended on this new land. A decision had to be made. A council was convened. For days they debated, weighing the risks against the rewards. The storm had decimated their resources, leaving them vulnerable. The new land offered a chance for survival, a chance for a brighter future. Finally, the decision was made. They would leave their ancestral home and journey south to the land Tambu had discovered. There was just one problem. Whale was the oldest and most respected member of the tribe. His wisdom was vast, his knowledge of the sea unparalleled. But Whale was also deeply connected to their ancestral land. He had been born on this shore, had fished these waters his entire life. The thought of leaving filled him with dread. "We cannot abandon our ancestors," he boomed, his voice echoing through the village. "They are buried in this land. Their spirits protect us." He refused to listen to Tambu's tales of paradise. He saw only folly in abandoning their home. Whale owned the largest canoe, a magnificent vessel carved from a single giant tree. It was big enough to carry the entire tribe and their belongings, but Whale, stubborn as the tides, refused to let them use it. He would not be a part of their folly. The tribe was torn. They respected Whale, valued his wisdom, but their need for survival outweighed their loyalty. They had to reach the new land, even if it meant defying their elder. A plan began to form, whispered in hushed tones under the cover of darkness. Section 6, the plan. The tribe decided to take Whale's canoe. It was their only chance. They knew it was a risky plan, but desperation fueled their resolve. They would need to act swiftly and silently under the cover of darkness. Starfish, a mischievous young boy known for his quick wit and even quicker feet, was recruited. His task to distract Whale. Starfish, never one to shy away from a challenge, readily agreed. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the village, the tribe gathered. Their faces were tense, their movements purposeful. Women whispered instructions to their children, their voices laced with a mix of excitement and trepidation. Tambu, his heart heavy with guilt, approached Whale's hut. He had to buy them time. He engaged the old man in conversation, sharing fabricated tales of his exploration, subtly steering the conversation away from the canoe. Section 7, Departure and Discovery. While Tambu kept Whale occupied, Starfish put their plan into action. He crept towards Whale's hut, his small frame swallowed by the gathering darkness. He clutched a fishing net, its contents wriggling and squirming. "Whale! Whale!" he shouted, feigning distress. "Look what I've caught! A giant crab! It's trying to pull me into the sea!" Whale, intrigued by the commotion, emerged from his hut. He squinted at Starfish, his brow furrowed in confusion. The boy was known for his tall tales, still curiosity got the better of him. He shuffled towards the shore, his eyes straining to make out the struggling figure in the fading light. As he drew closer, Starfish let out a yelp and scrambled backwards, dropping the net at Whale's feet. The large crab, sensing freedom, scuttled sideways, disappearing into the undergrowth. Whale let out a frustrated grunt. By the time he turned back towards his hut, the beach was deserted. The tribe, their precious cargo loaded, were already paddling furiously towards the open sea. Their silhouette, a dark smudge against the dying embers of the sunset, was barely visible in the gathering gloom. 9. A new home, a bitter farewell. The tribe paddled through the night, their arms aching, their bodies weary. They could hear Whale's enraged cries echoing across the water, urging them onward. Fear lent strength to their strokes. They knew they could not afford to be caught. As dawn broke, painting the sky in hues of pink and orange, they saw it. The island, their new home. Relief washed over them, mingled with a tinge of sadness. They had escaped Whale's wrath, but at a cost. They landed on the beach, their bodies trembling with exhaustion. As they unloaded their meager belongings, they could see Whale in the distance, his silhouette a stark reminder of what they had left behind. He circled their new home, his mournful cries echoing across the water, a constant reminder of their betrayal. He never set foot on the new land, choosing instead to remain a solitary figure, forever guarding the memory of what they had lost. The tribe flourished in their new home. The land, as Tambu had promised, was abundant. They built new lives, their past a bittersweet memory. But they never forgot Whale, the elder who had loved them enough to let them go, even as it broke his heart.